Hey everyone, welcome to the long-awaited for Christmas in November auction. This is my Buy It Now auction, and as you guys have known, I've been doing these once a month for almost a year now. And things have been going real good with these auctions. Normally I'll put up 5 items or so, and I will put down a starting price. I will tell you what the bid increments are, but then I will also put a buy it now price. The reason I do that is I don't want somebody bidding $500 on an item that's only worth $100. So what I'm doing is I'm guaranteeing that whoever gets these items is going to get them at a great price. And that's the important part. Everything that you see today is going to be at a decent price. I got a couple of my books out so I can show you values and stuff as well. I hunt eBay and I'm able to find all kinds of cool stuff, as well as going from shop to shop and being able to come up with things like that. Normally, like I said, I do 5 items. In July, I did a Christmas in July with 10 items, and that went really well. And I said I would do one for Christmas. You guys selected November as the time to do it. So since July, I have been putting stuff aside for this auction. I have a total of 25 items. I'm going to show you the first 20 items, which will be up for bid on YouTube. And the last 5 items are going up on eBay. You can look me up on eBay at Stuplubak Currency. That's my name on eBay. The last 5 items that go up on eBay, no reserve, and they're starting at $1. So those will start, they're probably running as we speak, and those will be going till next Monday. Highest bidder will get those, and that's all through eBay. All right, so how do we bid? Well, if you see an item you want to bid on, all you have to do is leave a comment down below. If you're bidding, put the number of the item, simply hashtag 12, and your bid price, okay? Check back often, because with all these items, there's probably going to be a lot of activity there. So if you place a bid, check back to make sure that you're still the high bidder. If you choose to buy it now, the first person to put down hashtag whatever the item number is and BIN, buy it now, at that particular price, they're going to get that. So if the buy it now price is $100, you'd put hashtag for item 4, $100 BIN, or whatever the case is, so that I know that that is a buy it now, not a bid. So once again, hashtag the item number, and bid if it's a bid, and BIN if it's the buy it now price. And like I said, it's up to you guys to check back. I don't have any way to inform people if they were outbid. That's just a matter of fairness. I'm not going to be pointing out to people, hey, you just got outbid. You guys are on your own for doing that. But normally what happens is people will see the buy it now price and they'll scoop it up for the buy it now price. The auction ends next Monday at 11:59 p.m. Central Time. Okay, so you've got all day Monday to bid, and when the clock strikes midnight Central Time, that's when I will look to see who has the high bids. Now, more often than not, like I said, someone will take it for the buy it now price, and those usually get scooped up right away. But if for some reason an item doesn't get scooped up right away, then feel free to come in and snipe it before the buzzer at the end. However, I think you guys are going to find that the buy it now prices on a lot of these things are pretty good. Anyway, this is my Christmas in November auction, and these guys here, that's as Christmassy as I get. Yes. I've got my coffee, so I'm sure I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. Probably going to be a long video, and we'll just have to go with it. Okay, so now we know what's going on, and we know how to bid. How do we pay? Well, I do accept PayPal or Zelle. There's Stuplubak at msn.com. That email address is good for both PayPal and Zelle. Then there is Cash App. I accept Cash App at $Stuplubak. And if you want to go with check or money order, Stuplubak Currency, P.O. Box 171, Russell, Illinois. And of course, do not make the check out to Stuplubak Currency. make it out to me because I cannot cash a check that says Stuplubak Currency. Let's see here. We will just write this because I didn't think ahead, and that just means that this is going to get that much longer. No problem. Okay, if you do write a check, there you go. That's how you spell my name. All right, and we're going to move these guys a little bit out of the way. They had their moment in the sun. Okay, so that is how to pay. Now, someone asked a very interesting question, which was, do I accept credit cards? And I have no way to accept a credit card payment. But I did come up with a workaround. If for some reason you find paying with a credit card is the absolute best way for you to do it, what I will do is, if you are the high bidder, I will then list the item on eBay at a ridiculous price and with a make an offer. And you can then make the offer whatever my bid or whatever the buy it now price was. But I do have to add 15% if you do it that way because eBay charges fees. So for instance, the buy it now price on an item is $100. You want to buy it now? Okay. You want to pay with a credit card? All right. Let me know. I will list the item on eBay at $115, and then you can buy it through eBay with your credit card at that 15% higher price because eBay is going to take 15%. But it is a way to use your credit card. That's the best solution I can come up with for using a credit card. Not my favorite choice. PayPal, Zelle, Cash App, check your money order. That is the easy ways to go. But yeah, I'm willing to work with people because I know that what I'm about to show is priced really well. All right. I think that covers all of this. I hope I didn't miss anything. Why don't we get started? I think my guy's here. I'm going to move him out of the way. Let me take a sip because this is going to be a lot of talking. All right. Much better. Item number 1. Here we go. I've got stuff of all different price ranges. I put these in an order, and I forgot one item. So as we go through, you're going to see one item's kind of out of place, but that's okay. No big deal. Item number 1. I have 4 military payment certificates. Okay. Here we're starting with a series of 521, which is actually 1952 Series 1. It's a 5-cent note, and it's in really nice shape. Really cool note. Then we've got the coolest series out there. This is the Series 681, which is 1968, the first series. 5-cent note featuring the nuclear submarine and featuring the astronaut, and it is also in decent shape. I'll put that one there. And we'll show you this side as well. And of course, by doing this, you guys can always pause the video and inspect them on your own. Then we've got a $1 military payment certificate. This one is Series 661, so that's 1966 first series. Also in really nice shape. Checking that one out for you. A little bit of sunlight coming through, so if there's any major creases or folds, that should light them up pretty good. I mean, the colors are just awesome on this. And finally, here is a $5 military payment certificate. This one, as you can see, is the series of 641, which is 1964 first series. That's kind of hypnotic when you stare into her eyes like that. The $5 military certificate from 1964. All these are going for one price. Now, some people think that these are ridiculously expensive. And truth be told is they're not. They're not very expensive at all. The only place that I can usually find prices for military payment certificates are in Green Sheet. And if I was to just flip through a couple of these here, where's Green Sheet military payment certificates? Let's take a quick peek just to show. Here's the big one. We'll look at this one real quick. The 64 $5. So if we flip into here, I will show, come on, here it goes, it's all the way in the back. Military payment certificates. We're looking for 1960, or series of 641, there it is. And the $5 one starts out at $8. We're looking at the one that doesn't have the R after the number. So M886, $5. In VG8 starts at $8, then 12 in a 20. It is $17 in a 40. It's $34 in an AU50. It's $70. This one's in pretty good shape. This one is actually really nice. Yeah. Some of the other ones, though, let's look at this one here. This military payment, you're talking a series of 681 for the 5 cent. And if I flip through here, I'm not going to do this with every note, by the way, but people don't know the values and can't find the values of these. But right here, the very top one, series of 681, the 5 cent, look at those prices across the top. 75 cents, $1, $1.52, 3. You know, this one's probably in the $2 to $3 range, sure. But those two notes alone. All right, this one here, $70 is the approximate value of that. The $1 one here as well. We won't look up that one as well. But as you can see, MPCs, starting off as little as $1, these can be very affordable to collect. What am I going to sell this entire group for? Well, this entire group, remember, this one alone is probably $70 in that condition. We're going to start the bidding for all 4 of these at $40. $40, you get all 4 of them, okay? And if you wanted to, the bids starting at $40, bids will be $1 increments. And if you want to buy them all, we're going to go with $60. $60 takes them all. This one, like I said, books out at $70 in that condition. But yeah, $40 on the bid, $1 increments, $60 takes all of them. So that is item number 1, the MPCs. Item number 2, I am bringing out a fractional. This fractional is from the 4th series, if I recall correctly. This is the Stanton note, the Stanton fractional, probably the best beard in money, or on money. He's also on a $2 treasury, if I recall. That is Stanton. Stanton was the Secretary of War under Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War. This note here was from 1869, if I recall. And this is the note that actually replaced Lincoln on the 50-cent note in that series. We'll take a look at the back of this one. Now, this one you can see does have a little bit of dirt, does have some folds. It's not a crisp, uncirculated note. This note is most certainly circulated. So yeah, it's got a little bit of dirt, little light staining on this side as well. This particular note, where is it? In VG8, starts out at $75, and in a VF20, you're talking $110 for this particular note. So 75 on an 8, and you're talking 110 if it's a 20. You guys can decide. I think it's better than an 8. I don't think it's quite as good as a 20. So it's somewhere in there. But that doesn't matter, because I'm going to start the bids not at that $75 price for a VG8. I'm going to start the bids on this at $40. And once again, if you want to take this one home for a buy it now price, $60 on the buy it now. So $40 on the bid, $1 increments, and $60 on the buy it now, and it's yours. Like I said, book is anywhere from 75 to 110. That's item number 2. Item number 3. I think this is a fun one. This is a 1907 wood chopper, $5 legal tender. The wood chopper, take a look in the center, you can see exactly why it's called the wood chopper. You've got the family out in the prairie. You can see their house in the background, that cabin there. The wood chopper, he's holding his axe, he's got his dog, he's got his wife, the baby, he's even got his rifle there. This is classic Americana. This is life out in the Midwest in the early 20th century and most of the 19th century, I would most certainly say. Anyway, this wood chopper from 1907, this is actually the same design that they used since 1869. The 1869 note was a rainbow. In 1874, they did away with the rainbow portion of it and just kept the regular portion of the note. You can see Andrew Jackson right there. Let me go through it just a little bit here so you can see. You can see there are wrinkles. I mean, it does have folds. You can see a hard crease here in the center. I'm just showing all of the note here. It does have this hard crease with looks like a little bit of inking or staining or something there. And we go to this side. Once again, I'm just trying to give you guys the best view of this possible. So it is not a crisp uncirculated. Probably, I don't know, 15 maybe, 10, 15, 12, that range. I don't think it's going to get a 20. You can see on the back that hard crease with the inking on there. The other thing that makes this note interesting is like right here. It looks like there is the seal. If I put my hand there so there's no sunlight coming, you can still see the seal. What I would think happened is at some point, this may have been in a stack of notes and the notes got wet. And you might have a little bit of wet ink transfer onto the back of this. Because you've got the same thing on this side here. You can kind of see the red V from the back right here. We fold that over, you can see. And once again, if I put, sorry, didn't mean to bump the camera. If I put my hand behind it so no sunlight comes through, then you can still see it. So I'm pretty sure that's a wet ink transfer. And that's not even the proper way to classify it because I don't think this was done in the printing process. What was done in the printing process, though, is when you look right here. See this word public? Let's see if I can get it to focus. There is a break in the U in public. So with that break, that makes this the public error. Instead of reading P-U-B-L-I-C, it looks like P-C-B-L-I-C. Not the greatest example of the public error. And actually, many of the notes have the public error, so it doesn't have any additional value. But a lot of people like to have both the regular and the public error. So this particular one is the public error. So now that I've talked this one up all that much, what do we got here? This one is FR91, if you want to check it in the book. FR91. In VG8, this note is $120. And in a VF20, it's $225. So 120 as an 8, 225 if it's a 20. Maybe it gets a 20. I don't know. It's going to get a mark for this line, I'm pretty sure. But I am not asking anywhere near that 100 or 225 mark. If you want to bid on this one, the bid is going to start at 110 bucks. Since it's over $100, we're going to do $5 increments. And if you'd like to buy it now, you can have this note for $149. $110 on the bid, $5 increments, $149 on the buy it now. That is item number 3, the 1907 wood chopper public error. Number 4. This is a fun one. This is, you can see right there, 1975 Ottawa, Canada. This is a $50 note from Canada, back when they still made paper notes. Now, I want to show the corner. You can see the corner ding there. You can see on the bottom, it's got a little bit of rounding. So this particular note is a circulated note. If I hold it up to the sunlight, you can see that it does have circulation. Looks like a light fold over here. So yeah, not perfect. You can see the fold right here as well. So yes, this note has been circulated. Do not think you're buying an uncirculated note. But with that being said, it is in pretty decent shape. You can see this corner here. I'm doing my best to point out all the stuff. You can see that there's handling on the bottom and a little bit of handling on the top as well. So that is the note. This 1975 $50 Canadian note, still one of the paper notes. They didn't switch to polymer before this. As cool as this note looks, with all of its intricate design and all the different colors. I mean, look at how tight those colors are. The fact that they were that good at doing those colors, and the fact that we just have crap for notes right now. This is 1975. This is almost 50 years ago they were doing stuff like this. But as cool as all that is, what makes this note really special is this side. The circle of Mounties on the back. To me, this is always the most impressive design I have ever seen on Canadian money. Just how fine some of those lines are. If anything was off at all, you would screw up this picture so bad. But yeah, just such a cool photo. Now from the back, you can see there is the fold here. You can see there is a fold here a little bit, so you can see the circulation. Still a $50 note from Canada. Okay, now this note here, the starting bid is going to be $55, and we're going to do $1 increments. And if you would like to buy it now, the buy it now price will be $75. So $55 on the bid, $1 increments, $75 on the buy it now. This is item number 4. All right, before I continue, I did think of one thing that I didn't bring up, and that is shipping. When it comes to the price of shipping, I'm paying for it. Okay, just remember that. Whatever price you bid on the notes, that's the price you're paying. I'm taking care of everything else. I'm taking care of the shipping, the packaging, everything else, that's on me. All you got to do is pay your bid price. I'm taking care of the rest of it. So keep that in mind when you are bidding. You're not just, that price doesn't include just the note. It also includes shipping. Still, I'm not sure that anybody is going to be able to touch some of my prices. All right. That was number 4, the Canadian note. Number 5. This is pretty cool. Number 5 is FR1227, for those of you who like to look it up. This is the 3-cent fractional. 3-cent fractional currency. This is from the 3rd series of fractionals. What makes this so cool is this is the smallest denomination fractional they ever made. They only made the 3-cent during the 3rd series. That's it. Here you can read everything that's on the back. Now you can see it is circulated, and that's fine because these were meant to be circulated. Like I said, the smallest denomination ever made, 3 cents, and it was the only series that had the 3-cent. Overall, it's pretty decent. Everything's legible on here. Everything's in decent shape. Yeah, it's got folds, but still, I bet this would grade at least a 20, 15 to 20 for sure. So the condition on it is decent. But this one is special. What's so special about it? Well, there are 2 varieties of this 3-cent note. There's the light background and the dark background. The light background is the one that everybody sees all the time. The dark background, the light background is dark over his shoulder, and then as you get up to his head, the background becomes almost the same color as the note itself. This is clearly the dark background. The dark background are much tougher to find, and they are worth about twice as much as the light background. I did a video on these, showing these, and I was able to score one. So I'm going to let you guys have a shot at this one. So what are we going on this one? Number 5, 3-cent fractional. In VG8, this book's out at $70. And if we go to, let's see, where is it? Yeah, VG8 is $70. In a 12, it's $80, and in a 20, it's $100. That's the book value on this particular one because of the dark background. Like I said, this is the variety that's hard to find. But those are not my prices. If you would like to bid on this, bidding is going to start at $40. $40 on the bid, $1 increments. If you want to buy it now, like I said, a VG8 is $70, but if you want to buy it now, you can have it for $65. And I think it's better than an 8. I think it's a lot better than an 8. So yeah, once again, the bid price, $40, the increment, $1 increments, and the buy it now, $65. That is item number 5. Item number 6. I got another one of these. This is from 1929. This is from the American Banknote Company. This is a specimen note produced by the American Banknote Company, series 1929. It was showing the government what they could do, how well they would be able to print notes. And of course, on a lot of the specimens, they actually ended up with roller marks on them. Not really good when you're trying to impress people, I know. The American Banknote Company Specimen Note from 1929. This is a $10 variety. I think it's the only one that I've ever seen. It's interesting how they did this because this is the front of the note and it's done in green ink. Normally the front of our notes are done in black ink. And if we look at the back of the note, it's done in black ink, and normally the backs of our notes are done in green. So they switched the colors just so there wasn't any controversy or any even attempt at counterfeiting. Once again, you can see the roller marks here and here. But overall, the note is crisp, uncirculated, very suitable for grading. You can go to shows and find these graded. When you send a note in for grading, you're talking, $40 to $50, maybe more if you've got less notes, maybe less if you've got a bunch of notes sending in. But you'll find these. You can find these graded at shows for $200, $250, somewhere around there. I will not be asking that for this. My bid, if you would like to bid on this particular item, number 6. Bidding starts at $100. We're going to go $5 increments. And if you want to buy it now, $125 and it's yours. Yeah. So $100 on the bid, $5 increments, $125 on the buy it now. And you can have this specimen 1929 from the American Banknote Company. That is number 6. I'm doing my best to check and double check all my numbers just to make sure there aren't any goofs. All right, number 7. Number 7. This is a note that probably should have went a lot further in the auction rather than as soon as it is because it's amazing. Number 7, FR 735 is a graded note. What is it? Check this out. $1 1918 Federal Reserve Bank note, and it happens to be from the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, and that is huge. It is graded 10, very good, and we'll take a peek at this. With the grading company giving this a 10, it's more important to see what they say a 10 looks like. Okay, I mean, you can see on the bottom there's a little bit of fraying. You can see the folds. You can see in the center there's quite a few folds through here. Looks like just a slight bit of a tear right there. Take a look at the back. Once again, you can see the hard crease. You can see the hard crease here. It got no marks on the back. It's a 10. They didn't put any details marking or anything like that. So it's a solid 10. It's a clean 10. That's great. Not only is it great for the note itself, but it's also great because now you have an example of what a clean 10 looks like. So if you have other notes and you're trying to figure out the grade, here you go. But I don't want to undersell this. This is a 1918 Federal Reserve Bank note from Minneapolis. And Minneapolis did not print many of these notes. You can find notes like this from the other Federal Reserves fairly cheap. But for Minneapolis, that's a different story. And for this one, I will pull out the book. Let me find it in here real quick. Federal Reserve banknote. Here we go. Federal Reserve banknotes. $1, but we're talking Minneapolis. And just to show, can I get that in there? Yeah, here's the first row is 8, then 12, then 20, then 40. So 8 and 12 are the first two columns. That's what we're looking at. And you can see here, Atlanta, 100 to 175, 90 to 125, 90 to 125. But when we go down here to Minneapolis, this one is number 735. 735 in a VG8 is $275. That's if it's a VG8. If it's a 12, it's $450. Okay. $275 if it's a VG8, $450 if it's a 12. Well, what if it's in between a VG8 and a 12? This is a 10, clearly a 10. Can't argue with it. It's a 10. So I will say that again. In VG8, this is $275. Clearly higher than a VG8. If it was a 12, $450. Is that what I said? Yep, that's what I got written down. So what does that make this worth? I don't know, 300, 3.25? I don't know, 350? Maybe more? I don't know. All right. But with those as the parameters, what am I asking for this? Well, like I said, a VG8 is $275. My starting bid on this note, $220. $220 for a starting bid. We're going to go $5 increments on this. And if you just want to buy it now, remember, a VG8's $275. If you want to buy it now, I will sell it for $250. So once again, item 7, we're going $220 on the bid, $5 increments, $250 on the buy it now. That's item number 7. Item number 8. I gotta pick up the pace on some of these, don't I? It's gonna be a while. This is FR23, can't read my writing. FR2305. It's a $20 Hawaii note. $20 Hawaii note. This is one of the emergency currency notes from World War II. These were issued to the island of Hawaii so that just in case Japan invaded and took all the cash, Congress can say any note with a brown seal and the Hawaii stamp is no longer worth anything. So emergency currency from Hawaii from World War II. It does have a little bit of rusting on it, and you can see the bottom. I'm not trying to hide anything, trying to make sure you guys can see anything and everything about the note that you want to see. Going across, there, it looks like just a minor scuff there, a minor scuff there. So we're looking at this one. What is that, a 20? I don't know, maybe. Check out this side so you can see everything there is to see. All right, so this particular note, number 8, what do I have in the book here? In VG8 is a $60 note, and in a VF20, it's $125. That's what the book has to say about the $20 Hawaii emergency currency. $60 in an 8, $125 at a VF20. We're shooting for the middle of that. If you would like to start bidding on this, the bid price is going to be $80. We'll do $1 increments on this. And if you want to buy it now, we're going to do $100. $100 on the buy it now. So $80 on the bid, $1 increments, and $100 on the buy it now. That's item number 8, the 1934 $20 Hawaii note. Number 9. Number 9 is a fun one. This is a 1981 $20 bill with a problem. This has an ink smear. This is graded by PMG. It's graded incredible. 65 EPQ, gem uncirculated. So that alone makes it a great note, having a 65 EPQ, gem uncirculated. But they also noted the ink smear. And the ink smear is in a very important part. It's covering Andrew Jackson's face. So you cannot not see the ink smear. Back of the note, of course, is wonderful. The only thing it says on the grade is exceptional paper quality on the back, as it should if it is graded a 65. The 65 1981 Federal Reserve note from Richmond, Virginia with the ink smear. This particular note, these sell for about $250 in this grade. This is a very high grade for this particular note. So yeah, choice uncirculated, you're talking about $250. We're not going to sell it for that much. We're going to start the bidding on this one. The bidding for number 9 is going to start at $175. We're going to do $5 increments. And if you want to buy it outright, $200. Like I said, they easily go for 250 or more, maybe more in that high grade. Generally, you're talking 63 for that price. But anyway, let's say that one more time. Number 9, the bid is 175. The increments are $5 increments, and the buy it now price $200, and this one is yours. That is number 9. Number 10. This is a fun one. I've got another error. A lot of you were asking about this particular error, and I got some stuff to show with this. This is graded by PCGS. It is a 65 PPQ Gem New $100 bill from 1990. And if that was it, this is worth money. But it's not. Because as I hold this up to the sun, you can see it has this security strip. But that security strip is on the wrong side. The security strip on a 1990 $100 bill is supposed to be over here. And in case you doubt that, series of 1990, series of 1990, and series of 1990. And when I hold these up, no strip, no strip, no strip. And when I turn them the other way, strip, strip, strip. All the strips are on the right-hand side. They are not on the left. This one, nothing on the right-hand side. The strip is on the right. That's an error. What does that make this worth? Well, to be honest, I couldn't find anything based on that. I looked and I couldn't. I could not come up with a value for this particular note. So how did I figure out the value to sell this? Well, no matter what you think of the note, it is a 1990 $100 bill graded 65. I got to show you this. This is pretty cool. Let me get the book. I didn't bookmark my books because I knew I'd be going back and forth through all kinds of different things, so you'll have to bear with me just for a second. Here we go. 1990. Okay, and this particular one is Boston. So that's this one right here. Series of 1990, 2173A, Boston. This first column, if we look at the top, can we see it? The first column is VF20, but the second column is Choice 63. So the first column for Boston here, right here. First column for Boston, face value. Second column, at a 63, this book's at $150. That's if it's a 63 without an error, okay? A 63 without an error books out at $150. This is not a 63, this is a 65. How does that affect the price? Well, I wasn't sure. So what I did was I flipped back to notes that may have comparable stuff. Let's see. Was this the page I was looking at? No, I think I was looking at the silver certificates. Where was the $10 one? That was, okay. So here's just random notes, but I wanted to check the price. Here's one that, if I look at the top, once again, let me make sure I can show you guys this. The second to the last column is a 63. And the last column is a 65, okay? So the second to the last column is 63. If we look here, this note is $150 as a 63, but it's $225 as a 65. Let's look at some other ones. Are there any others there? Let's try these. I'm specifically trying to find that $150 range just to see. Maybe it wasn't the red seals that I was finding these. I'm trying to key on the 150 so you can see exactly what 150 turns into. And, okay, here's on this side here. Hey, what do you know? I can fold my book over. Who was the genius that came up with that? All right, here, 150 to 250. 150 as a 63. And 275 as a 65. That's how much of a price difference there are between 63s and 65s in regular notes. So once again, the book on this note, period, in a 63 is $150. The book on this note as a 65, well, I think it's pretty safe to say that it's worth somewhere between $250 and $275. But that's just for the note. This is that error with the strip on the wrong side. So what am I going to do on this one? Well, we're going to call this one item number 10. Item number 10, the $100 strip error. The bid price on this note is going to be $250. And if you want to buy it now, we're going to go $300. So the bid is $250. The increments will be $5. And if you want to buy it now, you can have this for $300. If it doesn't have the error, it's $250 to $275 according to the book, and it does have the error. So I think that's pretty fair. All right, that is number 10. Halfway there, guys. Number 11. All right. One of the more controversial notes of the day. One of the newer errors of the day. This is a 2017A ink contamination error. This is legit. Look at the numbers here. That's clearly green. Look at the numbers here. That's clearly black. This is an ink contamination error. Now, this particular note does have some folds. You can see right here, this one lit up right away. And as I go through it, it does have other folds as well. So it is not uncirculated, okay? It is a circulated note. Look at the back. Once again, you can see this fold here. You can see another fold here. It looks like it's got some here. For some reason, you can always see the folds better on the back, which is a great tip for you guys. Check both sides of a note when you're buying it. Even if you hold it up to the light like that, you can see that, you know, there are some folds in there. Now, I'm not saying the note is bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's still a nice note. But this is a legitimate ink contamination error, okay? Now, these, when they first came out, they were selling for about $80. And I will tell you flat out, that's exactly what I paid for this note. I paid $80 for this ink contamination error. The way this happens is the inkwells for these particular spots are filled by hand. And I guess what would have happened is when they were trying to fill this black inkwell, they accidentally got the black ink in with the serial number. That's how that happened. It is a verified error. People have had notes sent in and graded, so it is a verified error. I paid $80 for mine. They're getting tougher to find, and turns out I've actually managed to get 3 of them, so I'm going to let this one go. This particular ink contamination error, like I said, I paid $80 for it. I will start the bidding at this at $100, and we will do $5 increments. And if you want to buy it now, we'll call it $125. I've been seeing these sell for anywhere from $160. You know, I saw one that was graded. They were asking $350 for it. But we're going to go, like I said, number 11, $100 on the bid, $5 increments, and $125 on the buy it now. That's number 11. Number 12, sticking with the errors. Number 12, this is a 1985 back to front offset print error. Now, this happens when they start the printing process before inserting the paper, and then the inking goes onto the back plate, okay? So they're trying to ink this portion of the note. There's no paper, so that print goes onto the back plate. So there's now wet ink here. They put the paper on that wet ink and then print this side. And when they print this side, the wet ink that was on the back gets put onto the front. So this is a partial offset print error back to front. Okay, you can see right here, graded extremely fine 45 ppq partial back to front face or back to face offset. This has been graded by PCGS. There's the number of the actual Federal Reserve note itself. That's pretty cool. With the sun back there, it makes it kind of deceiving. So I'll put my hands there to block the sunlight so you can see how much of that is actually offset. Very cool note. Very cool. If you don't have many errors, this is a legit error. You don't have to tell very much of a story for someone to understand why this is an error. That's what makes it so cool. And the fact that it's graded, you know it's legit, and it's a decent grade at 45. This back to front error, we're going to start the bidding on this particular one at $125, and we will do $5 increments. And the buy it now price on this item is going to be $150. So let me run through those numbers again. Item number 12, $125 on the bid, $5 increments, $150 on the buy it now. That's item number 12. Item 13. Make sure I get them right. Let's see. I don't want to screw these up. Yep, this looks right. I have a Giori test note. The Giori company designed a printing press that could print multiple colors at the same time. And they wanted to show the BEP what they can do. The BEP put together segments of plates. So you can see this is a portion of a $5 plate. You can see portions of a $1 plate, portions of the one here, small sections of the design. These are actual real plates that were used. Okay, this particular one doesn't have anything on this side. It's blank. The condition on this is very, very good. Definitely an uncirculated version, as it would be. It's a test note. It wouldn't have gone into circulation. The thing is with these notes is that because real plates were used, technically this was counterfeit money. If you use a real plate to produce these notes, that fell under the counterfeit provisions. So after these test plates, this was done in the 70s, by the way. So after these were tested, or after these test plates were made, test sheets were made, the company just had to lock them away. They couldn't do anything with them because technically they were illegal. I mean, it was counterfeit money. It wasn't until somewhere around 1996, 1997 that the government allowed these to go into collectors' hands, and that's how these came to be. Now, this is the common version. I say common version. Okay, everybody's got one of these. Yeah, okay. But the most common version that you're going to see is this backplate version, and with the green ink, of course. And these will sell for anywhere from $300 to $450. You'll see them at shows graded. They'll be $450. I've seen people asking ridiculous prices for these, like $600. I'm not asking that much for my Giori back test note. This is number 13, and if you are interested in this one, we are starting the bidding at $175. We're doing $5 increments, and if you want to buy it now, $199. So let me say that one again. Item number 13. The bid starts at $175, $5 increments. Buy it now for $199. That's item 13 on the Giori test note back. Number 14. Well, if I have a Giori back, I also have a front. These are a little more scarce. There are two types of fronts. This particular one is the George Washington front. They also did one that has Thomas Jefferson front and center. The Thomas Jeffersons are the extremely rare versions of these. This one here is the more common of the front notes. It's all green, features Lincoln, features Washington, features Grant. This is considered the front, even though the United States of America is usually printed like that on the back of the notes. Because it has the presidents, they consider this the front. And you can see they put the lines through there as a way of boxing out the image, because once again, you're still talking about potential counterfeit. Nothing on the back here. It is uncirculated and would go very nice with the last item. Or if you've got one of these and you wanted to finally get the pair, this is your chance. This one is the green ink. There are some out there that are brown ink. There are even some that have serial numbers as well, and those are extremely rare. But this is the more common version. Once again, you're talking price ranges anywhere from $300 to $450, sometimes more. I'm not going that high. This one is a little bit more expensive than the first one because this is slightly more rare. So for this item number 14, we're going to start the bidding at $200. We're going to go $5 increments. And if you want to buy it now, $225 and it's yours. So just slightly more than the other one because it is slightly more rare, but nowhere near that $350 to $450 range. One more time. Item number 14, $200 on the bid, $5 increments, $225 on the buy it now. Number 15. Number 15 is another fractional, but it is probably the fractional. This is the Abraham Lincoln 50-cent fractional. I want to say 1869 on this particular one. After Lincoln was assassinated, this was the first note produced that had his image on it. That's what made it so special. And I want to say that they short printed it because they quickly replaced this particular note with that Stanton note that I had shown earlier in the auction. The Lincoln note, if you were a modern day, strap hunter, yes, you would go nuts over this bill because look at how off-center it is. In fact, if you look at the bottom of the note, you can see the next note coming into play. If you look at the side of the note, you can see the previous note there. If I turn it over, you can see how off-center it is. The thing is that's how most of these were back then because these were hand-cut. So even though it's off-center, that does not increase the value. Looking at this note up close, it is not crisp uncirculated. It is most certainly circulated. You can see there's a serious fold here. There's a fold over here. You can see the wrinkling in the paper. This is probably a 12 or 15. I wouldn't call it a 20, but it is much better than an 8. It's probably in that 12 to 15 range. Maybe on a good day you get that 20, maybe. Anyway, the Abraham Lincoln, I don't want to call it a commemorative or anything like that because it's not exactly what it is, but it is the first note with Lincoln on it after his assassination, and you're talking within 5 years' time. This particular note in VG8 books out at $200. And if you do want to give it that VF20 look, it's $300 as a 20. But I'm not going that high. If you are interested in the Lincoln 50-cent fractional from 1869, I want to say fourth series fractional, first note with Lincoln on it after his assassination, starting bid on item number 15 is going to be $150. And if you want to buy it now, $175. Not even the price of a VG8. One more time, item number 15. The bid is $150. The increments are $5, and the buy it now $175. That is number 15, right? Yep. All right, number 16. We're getting there. Number 16. I have my Martha Washington note. This Martha Washington note, this is the first silver certificate, the first $1 silver certificate, I should say. They had earlier denominations of silver certificates, but they were high-valued notes. They didn't see much of a need for a $1 silver certificate since we had $1 silver coins. But the $1 silver certificate, this particular one, is the series of 1891. And this one's pretty rough. It's rough. You can see the corner here. Put that up there so it'll focus. A little bit missing there. The note itself is dirty. It does have folds and creases. I think this note was pressed. That's kind of the texture I get when I feel it. But with that being said, the whole note is here. There is the slightest little scuff right here, as if someone had put a tape roll on the wall and stuck it to the wall like that and then pulled it off. But let's run through this one real quick here because this is kind of a pricey note. And I want to make sure you guys get a good look at all of it. Checking the serial number. The note itself is dark. Okay, so don't be surprised. Here's the back of the note. The lighting in here is making this note look brighter. When you see this note in person, it is much darker. And just as a comparison here, that's what color it was supposed to be, and that's how dark it is. So I want to be fair about the color there. Once again, we're going to go through this. It does have this interesting little circle aspect there in the center. I don't know what that is, but yeah, checking out the entire note for you. Now, this is the 1891 version. The original version was the 1886, so this is the second series that had these. The thing is, I checked my book of the 100 greatest notes, and it lists the Martha note as note number 50 of the top 100. So if you ever wanted a top 100 note, this is it. And it did say that either the 1886 or the 1891 note qualify as one of the top 100. What am I asking for this? This note, where is it, is item number 16. And just to give you some idea of price, in a VG8, this book's for $250. If it was a 20, you're talking $475 on this note. So yeah, like I said, VG8 is $250. To me, if I'm trying to tell somebody what a VG8 would look like, this is what it would look like. So I'm calling this VG8. That's what I would consider this. What is going to be the price on this particular note? Auction item number 16. The bid price, $170. The increments will be $5. And if you want to buy it now, $199. $199 and you can have this Martha. Like I said, in VG8 the book's $250. To me, this is VG8. So once again, item 16, $170 on the bid, $170 on the bid, $5 on the increments, $199 on the buy it now. That is item 16. Item number 17. This one is tough. This one I wanted to put early and forgot because it looks like this. What do I have? I have an uncut sheet. That's what I have. This is a quarter sheet of $2 bills. Uncut sheet of real $2 bills. These are from 2003. It's interesting to look at the numbers. 999-84310, 999-54310, 999-24310. So it's neat to see the numbering pattern on these. This is clearly crisp, uncirculated, uncut $2 bills from 2003, and these are the New York series. You can see B New York there. It's cool to try to figure out where it was. This particular one, based on the numbers, looks like it was the what do we got here? ABC, and I'm looking at the numbers here, 4, 4, 4. So I think this was the lower left quadrant, if I recall. Anyway, the uncut sheet of $2 notes. It's called a quarter sheet because it is a quarter of a full sheet. And the thing is this is one of the better ones to get because it's manageable. When you get a full sheet, it's very unwieldy, very difficult to do anything with. But this is just the right size to frame and post up in your room. The uncut sheet is a quarter sheet, item number 17, $2 notes. The bidding is going to start at $30, $1 increments. And if you want to buy it now, $40 and it's yours. I have no idea what's going to cost to ship. I don't care. $30 on the bid, $1 on the increment, $40 for the buy it now. That is number 17. Number 18, we got a doozy. Make sure I grab the right one, and I didn't. There, now I have the right one. Number 18, FR1610. It's a $1 silver certificate from 1935A. This is amazing. This is the S note. In this particular series of 1935A, they decided they were going to do an experiment. They were having problems with notes peeling apart, so they decided what they would do is they would do an experiment and take 1 million notes and put a special coating on the notes, and then compare how those notes wore compared to regular notes. So they printed the notes with special paper, put a little S on them right here, and released them out into the wild. And the thought was, after a period of time, they would pull these all from banks and they could compare the wear patterns. But people aren't stupid. People saw this red S and they went, "What's that?" And before you know it, everybody starts saving these notes. So this is the special note, the S note from the experimental set from 1935A. This particular note, you can see, does have a hard centerfold, but the rest of the note is pretty good. I mean, this is pretty good. Trying to tell if that's a fold right there. Let me take a really close look at that. Ooh, I don't know. I don't think that's a fold. I think that might be, I don't know if it's dirt or what, but I don't think that's a fold. But in the center, that's certainly a fold. When you turn the light, you can see that. Looks like just the slightest fold right here as well. Very slight, and maybe a slight one here. Okay, so you've got that, but the rest of the note is just beautiful. We're going to take this and check it out this way. Like I said, I did this with the window open so that the sunlight comes through. Really, really cool note. Everybody likes the S note because this is the special note. This is the one that everybody really wanted. A lot of people had saved these notes. What do I have on this particular one? This one, well, once again, is number 18, the S note. And in very fine, this is about $150. And in XF, it's $185. And that price is a little on the underside because you can't find them for that anymore. People don't want to give them up at that price. If you've looked for them, you'll know. What am I going to do on this one? All right, item number 18. The bid price on this is going to be $150, and the increments would be $5. And if you want to buy it now, we're doing $175. I think that's fair on this particular note. $150 on the bid, $5 increments, $175 on the buy it now. That is the S note from the silver certificate series of 1935A, one of the experimentals. Number 19. Well, if I've got an S note, you better believe I'm going to be selling an R note. Here's the R. R note from 1935A. This one has a horizontal crease this way. You can see it's got some creases this way and this way, also here. So this one shows much more handling than the last one. Got a corner ding over here. This is not a tear, it's dirt. You can tell that by looking at this side here. Once again, looking at the back, you can see a lot better. So the R note. This was actually just a regular note from the 1935A series, but they stamped it R. They took, like I said, 1 million notes, stamped them with an S, 1 million notes, stamped them with an R, sent them out in the world, and then wanted to collect them to compare the wear patterns. But everybody knew that this meant regular, and everybody knew that the S meant special, which means people didn't save the R notes. They didn't care. It was a regular note, which means it's much harder to find the R notes, okay? Even though they printed just as many R's as S's, everybody wanted to save the S's. Nobody saved the R's. So this one is in a little bit worse shape than the other one, but it is actually valued a little bit more. This is FR1609, and in VF, it's $175 compared to the $150 of the other one. And in XF, this is $250 compared to the $185 of the other one. So you can see that these are, they are scarce compared to the other, and they are worth a little bit more. But I also understand that, and even though this one is harder to get and is in slightly worse condition, I know it's worth more than the other one, but I'm only going to ask the exact same price. If you want to bid on it, the bid is going to start at $150. We'll do $5 increments. And if you want to buy it now, you can have item number 19 for that $175 price. Once again, item 19, $150 on the bid, $5 increments, $175 for buy it now. That's item 19. And finally, number 20. Number 20, I have a pair of Colonial notes. Okay, Colonial notes predate the country. This is from the 13 original colonies. And these two particular notes are both from Maryland. Okay, I have the $50 and I have the $2. $50 Maryland note, the $2 Maryland note. This is Colonial currency, and the condition on these is really good when you look at the printing. Everything is legible on there. You can read everything. I mean, you can see right here, 1770. Okay, March, then it got overprinted here. Or no, here it is, the first day of March, 1770. Same thing here. Dated in Annapolis, first day of March, 1770. So 2 notes from 1770. You can read the serial numbers on them as well. Handwritten, hand-signed. Looking at the back, you can see how the anti-counterfeiting measures were impressions of leaves. One of the cooler parts of these notes is right here on the back. "'Tis death to counterfeit." It says it here too, "'Tis death to counterfeit." Just an incredible pair of notes. But the thing that makes these exceptionally cool are the signatures. The signatures are the same. And if you look, they're just slightly different. You can see the swirl here ends before this, and here the swirl goes on the other side of it there. You can see the signature here is just slightly different. The tail on the end kind of goes here and down, and here it goes dramatically down. These are hand-signed notes, but hand-signed by the same people. All right, now, these particular notes are also pretty tough to come by. Now, one thing I didn't mention was the fact that the notes are split. They are split in half there, and I believe there might even be tape holding those two together. I just wanted to look real close. I'm not going to take them out of here because, well, I suppose if anybody should, it should be me, right? I will slide this out. Yep, there is a little bit of tape holding them together. These are the original notes. I actually took these to my local coin shop to verify that these were authentic. They are thick. That's one of the ways that you can tell they're real, because they are thick. But because the notes were made so thick, as soon as they become brittle at all and you give them a fold, that's what would cause them to split. So, what did the book have to say about this? The 1770 Maryland $2 note in fair, which is I think 12 or fine, is $125. That's this one here. And the $50, this one here, the book just says rare. That's it. That's all it says. Rare. Doesn't even give a price. Rare. So this note is rare. And this note is $125. And you can see it's got the matching signatures, and that's why I wanted to keep these two together, because just to have these two notes, two different denominations signed by the same people, same order, from 1770. I mean, how cool is that? What am I going to go for on this pair? Well, if you want the pair, we're going to start the bidding at $200, $100 a piece. And we're going to go $5 increments on those. Imagine framing these, how cool that would look, these two framed. All right, $200 is the bid price, $5 increments, and if you want to buy it now, we are going $250, and they are yours. So once again, item 20, $200 on the bid, $5 increments, $250 on the buy it now. All right, so that's the auction, but wait, there's more, and I know it's a long video, and I apologize. I am putting up 5 items on eBay. Those 5 items are going to be starting at $1 a piece. You can find my eBay page at Stuplubak Currency. I'll try to put a link down below, but I'm an idiot, so we'll see. So I'm going to quickly run through what's going to be those 5 items. No particular order, because you can find them on eBay. However, it'll be under my page. I'm going to put my pair of Cook Island notes. These are $3 notes from the Cook Islands. I have no idea what the conversion is. This is the 1992 version. A paper version features the woman riding the shark, and it features the man here and the canoe here. And then this is the modern version, the polymer version. You can see they kept basically the same design, but they did change it up a little bit. So you still have the woman on the shark on this one. And when we look at the back, this time, yes, they did. And am I going to say it? I'm going to say it. They put a little man in the canoe. And I'll just, if you know, you know. Anyway, I'm gonna sell these two on eBay together. This is one group starting at $1. Whatever it sells for, it sells for. That's the first one. Second one, this is really cool. I'm going to sell this pair. I have 2 Canadian notes. This is from 1954. The Canadian notes, this one's still got a $7 price tag on it. These Canadian notes, this is the first issue that had Queen Elizabeth. And the person who did the engraving for Queen Elizabeth wasn't really a fan. I'm just showing the backs of these real quick. So these Canada notes, the engraver was not a fan, and he did a little bit of trickery on the Queen Elizabeth note. Here's my pen. Now I can point it out. If you look right here, this white spot, that's a nose. And here's the mouth. And here's an eye. And here's another eye. And the horns. This is the Devil's Head note featuring Queen Elizabeth. That was put on there without anybody knowing, and once this got into circulation, everybody threw a fit. And they had to modify the note to this version, which gets rid of the devil's head in her hair. You are going to get the Devil's Head $2 bill along with the modified version as well. The Devil's Heads are highly collectible. I don't have a book saying what they're worth. So we're going to start the pair off at $1. Have fun with that one. All right, also going up for bid. Some people were asking about these. Here's the Philippines 1 peso, the Philippines 1 peso in better shape, Philippines 2 pesos, the Philippines 5 pesos, and then this is a Japanese government 10 pesos. This is kind of just the throw in for that Japanese government 10 pesos. This is World War II currency, but these are the cool ones because these are all the Victory Series. Victory Series number 66, Victory Series 66, Victory Series 66, and on this side, Victory Series 66. These have the Victory stamp on the back, the varying colors, and once again, there are 2 different ones. Well, they're both the same note, just one's in nicer shape than the other. The Victory Series notes. I mean, this is essentially I don't want to say it's the whole set because they also made a 10, a 20, a 50, and a 100. But the 1, 2, and 5 are the ones that everybody likes to have. Here you go. The 1, the 2, and the 5 from the Victory Series. And you even get an extra one so you can try to sell one and get some of your cost back. No idea what the actual value is on them. And I'm also throwing in the 10 peso from the Japanese government as well. All these are going on eBay as one group, starting at $1. What else? I have 2 graded notes. This is from the Bank of Israel. This is a 1 lira from 1958. Graded note, graded 64 EPQ. And this note is beautiful. You can see the sunlight shining through for the watermark there. You can see the security strip in here. I cannot read it, sorry. And if I go on this side, here is the back of the note. Just really cool Bank of Israel 1 lira note, like I said, graded, and a ½ lira note as well, 1958 version. Once again, you can see the watermark in there. You can see the security stripe in there. This is ½ lira. I don't know the conversion of what a lira is to $1. I just know that these 2 notes are graded and graded high. So this would definitely make a great addition to somebody's collection, someone more worthy than me to have these. So I want to make sure that this goes out to someone who wants them and can cherish them the proper way. I don't know how else to say that. That's the best way to do it. I'm going to start them at $1. Don't know what they're worth. You tell me what they're worth, what you want to pay for them. And finally, the last item going up on eBay. This is a 1969 $1 bill, 1969D. This note is rough. Look at the condition. Pretty rough shape. Nothing special on the back. Just a 1969D, and Pretty rough condition. Everybody handled this note. Problem is nobody looked at this note. Most people that handled this note just skipped it on by. But those who didn't saw the serial number. Look at that last digit. Now that is a gas pump error. So whenever you see somebody saying, oh, I got a gas pump, no, you don't. That is a gas pump. The last digit, as you can see, is supposed to be a 6. That 6 is turned so high you can see part of the 7. You can't even tell that that's supposed to be a 6 other than the fact that it's round, so that must be the 6 if that's the 7. That is your gas pump error. These can sell for hundreds. I mean, this is a legit error. And for you guys, I'm putting it on eBay with a $1 starting bid. Whoever wants it, high bid's going to get it. $1 starting bid on the actual, true, legit gas pump error, I should say. 1. All right, that concludes everything. If you put down a comment in this auction, I will not respond. I will only be responding to the winning bids. If you have any questions on anything else, you can always send me an email. Auction goes live. It's live. Auction ends Monday, 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. The eBay auctions, they will say what time they end each individual item. Good luck on your bids. Guys, thank you very much for watching. And hey, Merry Christmas.